Welcome to Movie Dhamaka. Scene 1. The escape and the baby in the river. Dark clouds hover over a giant waterfall. A royal woman, wounded and determined, clutches a baby to her chest as she runs through the jungle, chased by armed soldiers. Queen Sivagami, to herself. I must save this child, he must live, no matter what happens to me. She jumps into the turbulent river below. The soldiers lose her. She holds the baby above the water with one hand while trying to swim with the other, bleeding heavily. As her body weakens, she drifts into the water, still keeping the baby above. Sivagami, praying with last breath. Lord Shiva, protect this child, he is Mahishmati's future. Her hand remains upright, holding the baby, even as her body sinks. A local tribe, living nearby, sees the miracle. Sangha, tribal woman. Look, there's a baby in the water. She rushes to the river and saves the child. The woman's body is taken out too, it's already lifeless. The tribal people take the baby in as their own. Scene 2. The boy grows up. Years pass. The baby grows into a curious, strong young man named Shivudu. His adoptive mother Sangha raises him with love but strict rules. Sangha, you are not to climb that mountain. The waterfall protects us. It's dangerous. Shivudu, smiling. But mother, what's on the other side? Why do I feel something is calling me? He tries to climb the massive waterfall often, but fails every time. He marks his failed attempts on the rock wall, dozens of them. Scene 3. The strength of a god. One day, he prays to Lord Shiva and decides to do something extraordinary. He lifts a massive Shiva lingam, a feat no one has ever done, and places it under a waterfall so his mother won't have to walk far to pray. The villagers are stunned. Villagers whisper, he lifted the Shiva lingam with his bare hands. This is not human. Scene 4. The mask from the sky. One day, a wooden mask falls from the top of the waterfall. It has the face of a beautiful woman. Shivudu, picking it up. Whose face is this? Who are you? Fascinated, he paints the mask and imagines the woman. He feels drawn to her, as if she's calling him from above. Scene 5. The final climb. Determined, he climbs the massive waterfall again, this time all the way to the top. It takes all his strength, wit, and courage. He slips, falls, and gets injured, but he doesn't give up. Shivudu, gritting his teeth. I've failed so many times, but this time, I will reach the top. He finally reaches the summit and finds a magical world, lush greenery, mystical ruins, and signs of a new civilization. Scene 6. First glimpse of Avantika. He follows footprints through the forest. Suddenly, he sees a warrior woman, Avantika. She moves with grace, strength, and purpose. She fights enemies like a shadow in the night. Shivudu hides behind a tree, mesmerized by her beauty and power. Greater than Shivudu, in awe, softly. It's you. Scene 7. The warrior's world. Shivudu secretly follows Avantika through the jungle. She's unaware of his presence. He observes her climbing trees, leaping through rocks, and moving like a trained warrior. She meets a group of rebels. They're part of a secret resistance against the rule of King Bhallaladeva. Scene 8. The rebel camp. Inside the hidden rebel camp, Avantika reports back to her commander. The group is preparing for a mission, to rescue a woman held prisoner by the king. The woman is Devasena, the rightful queen of Mahishmati, chained and humiliated. Rebel leader, Avantika, it's your turn. You'll go to Mahishmati and bring her back. Avantika accepts the mission, but she's focused and serious, dedicated only to her cause. Scene 9. Shivudu falls in love. Meanwhile, Shivudu is fascinated and in love. He doesn't know who Avantika really is or what her mission means. He leaves clues for her, like flowers in her path and carvings on trees, trying to get her attention. Finally, one day, Avantika discovers him in the jungle. Avantika, angrily. Who are you? Why are you following me? Shivudu, smiling. I've come this far for you. Your mask fell from the sky, and so did my heart. She attacks him, thinking he's a threat. They fight, a swift and graceful combat, but he doesn't hurt her. Eventually, he gains her trust. Scene 10. A warrior's heart melts. Shivudu helps her remove a scorpion that stung her. He shows her kindness and care, something she hasn't experienced in a long time. He adorns her with jewelry from the river. In a beautiful moment, he paints her back with symbols, turning her into a woman, not just a warrior. Avantika begins to fall for him, her strong exterior softening. Shivudu, you're not just a warrior, Avantika. You are a woman. You deserve to feel, to smile, to live. Scene 11. The truth about Devasena. Avantika finally reveals the truth to Shivudu, about Devasena, the queen imprisoned in chains for 25 years. Avantika, emotionally. She is the mother of justice, of the true king. We vowed to bring her back. That is my mission. Shivudu, realizing the depth of the cause, offers to go in her place. Shivudu, firmly. You've lived in danger all your life. Let me go. I'll bring her back. Scene 12. Mission begins. Disguised as a soldier, Shivudu heads towards Mahishmati kingdom, where the palace rises like a mountain, and Devasena remains chained, looking at the sky, waiting for her savior. Scene 13. Arrival at Mahishmati. Shivudu, now disguised as a soldier, reaches Mahishmati kingdom, a glorious city with towering gates, majestic palaces, and a strong military presence. The city is preparing for a royal celebration, the coronation of Prince Bhallaladeva's son, Bhadra. Scene 14. First glimpse of Mahishmati's cruelty. In the city square, people gather to witness a public humiliation. Devasena, a queen once noble and proud, is chained and caged like an animal, sitting on a wooden platform for all to mock. She has been imprisoned for 25 years by King Bhallaladeva. Yet, even in chains, her eyes are fierce, filled with fire and defiance. Commoner whispers. She's been like this for years, but never bowed her head. Scene 15. Shivudu sees Devasena. As Shivudu watches her from the crowd, Devasena suddenly reacts, her chains rattle, and her body trembles. She senses something. She stares at Shivudu from a distance, as if she recognizes him. Devasena, to herself. That face, that presence, could it be? But she says nothing. Scene 16. Flashback clues. Shivudu sees statues, wall carvings, and symbols in Mahishmati, one of them looks like him. People whisper about the legendary warrior Baahubali, who looked just like the stranger. Palace guards. He looks exactly like Amarendra Baahubali, is it a coincidence? Scene 17. Prince Bhadra's arrogance. Prince Bhadra, son of Bhallaladeva, walks arrogantly through the crowd. He mocks Devasena, throws insults, and announces his coronation. Bhadra, mocking Devasena, still alive, old woman. Still waiting for your son. Devasena doesn't speak, she only looks away, eyes burning. Scene 18. Shivudu rescues Devasena. That night, Shivudu sneaks into the prison area. In a powerful, emotional moment, he breaks the wooden bars of Devasena's cage with brute force and carries her out on his shoulders, just like a son would carry his mother. The people watch in shock as someone daringly rescues Devasena in front of the entire kingdom. Scene 19. The alarm sounds. The palace alarms go off. Soldiers chase Shivudu across the city, over rooftops, through markets, across bridges. A stunning action sequence begins. Shivudu uses his strength, speed, and wit to fight off dozens of warriors while protecting Devasena. Scene 20. Face off with Bhadra. At the climax of this segment, Shivudu comes face to face with Bhadra, in front of a stunned crowd. Bhadra, who are you? Shivudu, calmly. I am the son of Devasena. And then, in one swift and brutal move, Shivudu beheads Bhadra with his sword, in public, shocking the kingdom. Everyone is stunned, even Katappa, the royal guard, who watches from afar. Scene 21, Shock across the kingdom. The brutal execution of Prince Bhadra spreads panic across Mahishmati. The public gasps in disbelief. Katappa, the legendary royal slave and commander, watches with silent shock. Katappa, thinking, he looks exactly like Amarendra Baahubali. But how is this possible? King Bhallaladeva, seated on his throne, is informed about the death of his son. His face turns stone cold. Devasena, finally free, stands tall, her spirit unbroken. Scene 22, Katappa attacks Shivudu. Katappa, bound by his oath of loyalty to the throne, is ordered to capture Shivudu. He confronts Shivudu in a fierce one-on-one battle. Their swords flash across towers, bridges, and palace grounds. But mid-fight, Katappa stops. His hands tremble. Katappa, voice shaking. Who are you? Shivudu. My name is Shivudu, son of Devasena. Katappa steps back, in tears. Katappa, softly. Baahubali. Scene 23, truth begins to unfold. Devasena sees Katappa, the man who once betrayed her family. Devasena, angrily. Why are you looking at him like that, Katappa? You killed his father. Shivudu is stunned. Shivudu. What? You killed my father. Katappa falls to his knees, overcome with grief. Scene 24, Katappa's flashback begins. Katappa begins to tell Shivudu, and the audience, the truth about his father, Amarendra Baahubali. Katappa, narrating. Your father was a prince. A warrior. A king in every sense, loved by the people more than anyone in Mahishmati. Flashback begins. Scene 25, Birth of Two Princes. The story goes back to the time when two boys were born in the kingdom, Amarendra Baahubali and Bhallaladeva, cousins raised together in the palace. Both trained in warfare, politics, and leadership. Baahubali is kind, just, and brave. Bhallaladeva is powerful, but arrogant and manipulative. Royal ministers whisper. One day, the queen must choose who will be king, Baahubali or Bhallaladeva. Quote, Queen Sivagami, the ruler, raises both boys as her own and teaches them royal duties. Scene 26, Mahishmati faces war. A powerful and brutal enemy, Kalakeya tribe, threatens to destroy Mahishmati. The two princes are now ready to prove themselves in war. Sivagami announces. Sivagami, whosoever brings victory and protects the people will be crowned the king of Mahishmati. And so begins the epic war. Baahubali and Bhallaladeva will now go to battle. The stage is set for a battle that will define their destiny. Scene 27, Baahubali becomes the people's king. Katappa continues telling the story of the past. After the epic war, Queen Sivagami chooses Amarendra Baahubali to be the next ruler of Mahishmati, not Bhallaladeva. Sivagami. A true king fights not for power, but for the people. The citizens cheer for Baahubali. He becomes a beloved figure, humble, generous, and protective of the common people. Scene 28, Seeds of Jealousy. Bhallaladeva and his father Bijjaladeva burn with jealousy. They begin to plot secretly, intending to take the throne back from Baahubali. They pretend to support him but wait for a moment of weakness. Bijjaladeva, to Balla, you are the rightful king. But the queen gave your crown away, you must take it back, by any means. Scene 29, Baahubali and Katappa's bond. Baahubali shares a close bond with Katappa, who serves him loyally. Baahubali treats Katappa with respect, unlike others who see him as a mere slave. Baahubali, to Katappa, you are not just a servant, you are my family. This makes Katappa love him even more, deepening the pain of what is to come. Scene 30, Romance in the Hills. Meanwhile, Baahubali and Katappa set off on a tour of the kingdom, disguised as commoners. On their journey, Baahubali meets a young warrior princess, Devasena. She is brave, fierce, and independent. Baahubali falls in love with her instantly, though she doesn't know his true identity. He pretends to be a simple man named Shiva, and begins helping her kingdom secretly. Scene 31, Devasena's spirit. Devasena fights off bandits, trains soldiers, and speaks boldly. She dreams of justice and freedom for her people. Devasena. A sword isn't meant to decorate a man's hand, it should protect the helpless. Baahubali is impressed by her strength and intelligence. Scene 32, The Comedy of Disguise. Baahubali, pretending to be an ordinary traveler, uses clever tricks to impress Devasena and hide his true strength. In a humorous scene, he uses Katappa to fake attacks, giving himself the chance to rescue her, though she herself is more than capable of fighting. Katappa plays along, reluctantly. Katappa, whispering, is this why we left the palace, to act like fools? Baahubali, this is more dangerous than war, old friend, this is love. Scene 33, Devasena begins to warm up. Devasena starts to see Baahubali's kind heart, though still thinking he's just a commoner. They begin to bond, laugh, and fight side by side. Romance slowly grows, not just attraction, but mutual respect. Scene 34, Baahubali and Devasena fall in love. Baahubali and Devasena continue their journey together, still in disguise. Their bond deepens, not just romantic, but built on shared ideals of justice and leadership. Baahubali is amazed by her courage and intellect. Devasena begins to fall in love with the man she believes as a simple warrior. Devasena, you may not have a crown, but you think like a king. Baahubali, smiling, perhaps, I just found a queen. Scene 35, Marriage Proposal and Misunderstanding. Back in Mahishmati, Queen Sivagami receives a marriage proposal from Devasena's kingdom, but they refuse to bow or submit to her rule. Bhallaladeva lies and manipulates the message, making it appear that Devasena insulted the queen. Enraged, Sivagami vows to teach her a lesson and promises to marry Devasena to Bhallaladeva without asking her consent. Sivagami, she dares speak against Mahishmati. Then she shall become my daughter-in-law, by force if needed. Scene 36, The Truth Revealed. Meanwhile, Baahubali decides to reveal his identity to Devasena, but just before he can, Sivagami's envoys arrive to escort her to Mahishmati for marriage to Bhallaladeva. Devasena is furious. Devasena, I gave my heart to another, I will not be sold like a prize. In front of the court, she publicly rejects Bhallaladeva and declares that she loves Baahubali. Devasena, to Sivagami, the man I love is worthy of any throne. He is not your son, but your king. Sivagami is shocked and humiliated. Scene 37, Baahubali chooses love. Sivagami gives Baahubali a choice, the throne or Devasena. Without hesitation, Baahubali chooses Devasena. Baahubali, a throne means nothing without love. I choose Devasena. Sivagami strips him of his title and power, Bhallaladeva is declared king. But the people still love Baahubali more. Even without a crown, he becomes their real leader. Scene 38, Katappa's loyalty conflict. Katappa, heartbroken, must now serve Bhallaladeva by royal order, even though his heart lies with Baahubali. Katappa, to himself, I am a slave to the throne, not to justice. And that is my curse. Scene 39, Mahishmati under new rule. Bhallaladeva takes the throne, but remains in the shadow of Baahubali's popularity. Baahubali and Devasena live among the people, helping the poor and protecting the weak. The people continue to chant Baahubali's name. People, long live Baahubali. Even without the crown, he is our true king. Scene 40, Baahubali among the people. Though no longer king, Amarendra Baahubali lives with Devasena in a modest home outside the palace. He becomes a hero of the common people, helping farmers, protecting women, and fighting injustice. Baahubali, to Katappa, power is not in a throne. It lies in being loved by those who have nothing. Katappa remains by his side, loyal in heart but still bound by the royal oath to the king, Bhallaladeva. Scene 41, Bhallaladeva's insecurity grows. Even as king, Bhallaladeva feels overshadowed. He grows paranoid seeing the people chant Baahubali's name. Bhallaladeva, to Bijjaladeva, I sit on the throne, yet my name does not echo in these streets. That man must fall. He begins plotting Baahubali's assassination. Scene 42, Sivagami's dilemma. Queen Sivagami, once proud of Baahubali, is torn between her son's crown and her past decision. Though she stripped Baahubali of his title, she still sees his nobility. But Bhallaladeva manipulates her, painting Baahubali as a traitor who plans to take the throne back. Reluctantly, Sivagami gives the order to Katappa. Sivagami, the kingdom must come first. If Baahubali is a threat, he must be eliminated. Scene 43, Katappa's heartbreak. Now comes the most emotional moment in the film. Katappa, bound by his lifelong oath to serve the throne, is ordered to kill the man he loves like a son. Katappa, to himself, how can I kill him? How can I betray the very hand that fed me? But I am not a man. I am a slave. He lures Baahubali into a quiet area, pretending to discuss military affairs. As Baahubali turns his back, Katappa raises his sword. And in one tragic, gut-wrenching moment, he stabs Baahubali from behind. Baahubali, in disbelief. Katappa, you. Katappa breaks down crying as Baahubali collapses. Scene 44, The birth of Mahendra Baahubali. Devasena, pregnant at the time of the betrayal, is arrested and chained by Bhallaladeva. Queen Sivagami, realizing the horror of what's happened, rescues the baby boy, Mahendra Baahubali, and escapes. Sivagami, this child is the true heir of Mahishmati. I will protect him, even with my life. She flees with the baby, leading to the very first scene of the movie, where she drowns while saving him. Scene 45, Return to the present. The flashback ends. Now, Shivudu, Mahendra Baahubali, knows the truth. His father was murdered by betrayal, his mother is still imprisoned, and the kingdom is ruled by a tyrant. Katappa kneels before him, weeping. Katappa, I killed your father, I deserve no forgiveness. I await your punishment. Mahendra Baahubali, firmly. I will not punish you. I need you, to fight beside me. We will reclaim Mahishmati. Final scene, the cliffhanger. As the movie ends, the audience is left with the most powerful question. Why did Katappa kill Baahubali? Though we now know how, the true reason, the conspiracy behind the betrayal, remains for the sequel.